Hey, welcome back to the channel. Thank you once again for supporting me and checking out this video. Really do appreciate it. WNBA free agency. The Indiana Fever are not finished, folks. They are not finished. Three more moves yesterday. Or I guess maybe technically they're not all free agency moves. We'll call them roster moves. One that really surprised me that I gotta say, I'm a little annoyed at this one. Uh, both personally, just because okay, let me back up a second. They waived Grace Berger. Now, personally, I'm a little disappointed in this one because I like Grace. I like Grace as a player. I think she's a really solid player who, what like Celeste Taylor, didn't get an opportunity that she should have gotten with Indiana, thanks to Christy Sides. And hey, long term, this could work for the team. I understand that. As I've said myself, the only untouchable player on this roster is Caitlin Clark. Now, however, the issue I have with this move from a analytics standpoint, from analyzing these moves, from saying what's good, what's bad, and trying to look at it objectively, is they don't have a backup point guard. And I know a lot of people are saying, well, Caitlin Clark's going to play most of the game anyway. It does not matter. You don't want Caitlin Clark playing 36, 38, 40 minutes a game. Okay, it would be great if she could get down to consistently 30, 32, 33. And on top of that, you have foul trouble. You have, hey, you think Caitlin Clark could ever get thrown out of a game, maybe get a couple of techs? Yeah, there's that as well. And fingers crossed, knock on wood, salt over your shoulder, whatever it is you do, injuries do happen. What do you do if Caitlin Clark gets hurt? And remember that time everyone held their breath because she rolled her ankle? What if she's out 3 weeks, a month? Now, again, they could have other moves, so we'll have to wait and see. But considering how little they saved in cap space, because Grace Berger's on a rookie contract, and for those who only saw this season and that's kind of their understanding, Grace Berger did play in 2023 to the point of being all rookie. She's playing very, very well overseas right now. Just because she sat forgotten on the bench for a freaking idiot like Christy Sides does not mean she can't play basketball. Newsflash, quick reminder. Katie Lou Samuelson and Christy Wallace were getting massive minutes and starts at the beginning of the season, while Lexi Hull was sitting on the bench. Erica Wheeler was getting a higher number of minutes early in the season as well. Okay. Christy Sides was trying to get Caitlin Clark to take long twos and have the team get pink touches. Just wanted to remind you, although I'm sure hardcore Fever fans remember all of it vividly. But so we'll put a little bit of wait and see. But this to me is why I'm looking trying to look at it objectively, why I have questions about this, because there is no true point guard on the roster other than Caitlin Clark. And yes, yes, you do need a backup point guard. Now, they may have another move, although they don't have a lot of cap space. And unfortunately, they have massive contracts with Christy Wallace and Katie Lou, which, hey, they may move them. I hope they do, but it makes it more difficult. But we also had this, folks. Yeah, Victoria Saxton has also been waived by the Indiana Fever. So they freed up a little bit of money with Grace Berger. They freed up a little bit of money with Saxton. And here, and I'll give you this too, which is also why I go back a little bit to, well, it was not just Christy Sides, but who brought in Christy Sides was Lynn Dunn and the Fever. My guess, they probably won't say it publicly, but just my guess from experience and knowledge of this is if they could be open about that, Kelly and Amber would say, "Yeah, we would have much rather had Grace and Victoria on the roster than Katie Lou and Christy Wallace." But thanks to the reality of the contracts and how they've been structured, it was simply not possible. They can't waive Wallace. They'd still get the cap hit because that's guaranteed money. Okay. So they had to get rid of two young players. Now, I don't know what Saxton would have done in the pros. We have an idea with Grace. She played well her rookie year in 2023, and we see her doing well overseas. But my guess is they would have much rather have gotten rid of Katie Lou and Christie than Saxton and Berger. But hey, guess what? They weren't done. We got a little bit of more going on. Welcome to Indiana, Jalen Brown. Now, if you don't know Jalen Brown, that's because when she came out of college in 20, or was it 21? I think 20 she graduated. Let me just scroll down here and double check the, college numbers. Yeah, 20, so she graduated in 20. She went and played overseas for a while, so her rookie year, so this was her rookie year, 2024, but obviously an older rookie because she went and played overseas. I believe she had some injuries when she did come into Dallas. Yes, another Dallas Wings player gone, uh, and so she only played games toward the end of the season, but if we scroll up here a little bit, last 5 games, you can see she's well, 4 of the 5, she got some minutes. Last game of the season in that loss to the Aces, she put up 15 points. She was 6 and 9 from the field. I do have some clips here as well, I think, but just to give you an idea, I think this is a jumper, but Jalen Brown is a guard. She is not a point guard, although maybe that's what they're looking at, but this is somebody who can play, and she did have I think that's what this is from, and I got another one that's a little more extended if I have this correct. This is, this is the last game of the season, so this is the one against the Aces, just to give you an idea of some of the things she can do, but, I mean, very nice release. Of course, you know she's gonna be good because she's left-handed, and we all know left-handers are naturally better athletes. That's just a fact. Don't even come at me in the comments. You can see it right there with Jaylen Brown. But she is someone who's got a lot of potential. She's quick, she's athletic. You can see that she runs. She's got a nice release with her shot. She's got a mid-range. I mean, that's I love that jump shot, by the way. And I said this the other day for those who didn't see the Caitlin Clark ceremony. There's another one when I said that same thing about Lucy Olson, and they're a little different, but they remind me of each other when you get into that mid-range because they take legit jump shots. In other words, they're getting up off the ground. They're not releasing as they're going up. They're getting up off the ground. They have the ball up at a high point. They have a high release at the top of their jump, which makes it very, very difficult to defend. So this is a this is a potentially a good thing that gives again the team. This is wild to say, but we're looking at depth. Look, I think to make this complete, you got Wallace and Katie Lou probably has to go as well if they're going to make the moves they have, because if I'm looking at this correctly, if this is accurate and I'm not losing my mind, y'all can let me know. We have 11 players. Now they could go with 11, but I would think they would want 12 because again, I believe they need a backup point guard. Now maybe they've got something in the works that'll allow them to free up more space. I know people are talking about Van Loo and making a trade. Here are the issues I have with that. Nothing with Van Loo as a player, but she was a rookie last year, so rookie contract, but she's what, 31? Here are the issues I have. I don't think after her season in Washington that Van Loo was looking to play backup point guard for 5 or 10 minutes a game, right? I don't, and I don't think that the Valkyries would want to give her up for dead weight cap hits like Christy Wallace or Katie Lou. And so then if you're thinking, well, what about packaging draft picks? Because it's Valkyries, maybe you package picks later on down the line. They're not going to be great picks because everyone's going to expect the Fever to be good. So they're going to be low. They would be low first round picks off in the future. And that also then doesn't get rid of any cap space for the Indiana Fever because they want to get rid of Wallace and they want to get rid of Katie Lou. I shouldn't say they want to, but for me, and looking at what they've done to this roster now, Kelsey Mitchell, Natasha Howard, Damiris Dantas, Lexi Hull, Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, Dewana Bonner, Sophie Cunningham, Jalen Brown. To me, those are the nine. This is a nine deep team, which is much deeper than they were before. Those are nine players, all who can play significant minutes. But I believe they need a backup point guard. So maybe they have something in the works, but that's the issue I have with getting rid of Grace Berger. So let's be clear for when the comments come. I'm not saying I'm not all upset because I think Grace Berger is the greatest player in the world. I think Grace Berger is a really good player who got screwed over by Christy Wallace this year. But more importantly, I think we already know that she fits in with the Fever. Caitlin Clark likes her. The team seem to like her. There's that chemistry there. She understands the system. She's gone through a year of Caitlin Clark. So I don't know. And she knows that the minutes are going to be limited because she's experienced it. I don't know who you get to come in that is going to be an upgrade from Grace Berger for not more money, who is going to be okay with very limited minutes on this roster. Now, they could look, the other thing I will add, they could be thinking that, hey, you know what? Maybe we don't need a true backup point guard because we can run out these players who are very flexible in where they play, which I've said about um, Lexi Hull. I've said about obviously Caitlin Clark, Sophie Cunningham, Duana Bonner also can play guard forward. Jalen Brown, maybe they're okay with her bringing the ball up, even though she's not a true point because of the type of offense they're going to run. So that is a possibility as well. I think I have a couple of more things with Jalen Brown. Just to give you an idea, a lot of people, Fever fans, might know of her because she went off on the Fever in the preseason. So just a little bit of that, but you can see good movement off the ball. I love that she takes these shots too. This is one of the things missing from the NBA nowadays that makes it crap is this mid-range type of game. And you can see how smooth she is with a real jump shot, not this chucking it from the waist stuff, right? She doesn't do it as much when she's shooting a longer three, strength issue, I understand, but she still has a quick release from three. But she just has such a smooth looking shot. I love that mid range game. She's quick enough to start getting to the basket and backing off those defenders. And then she makes that pull up. So she gets that mid range jumper that she shoots. Here it is again. She gets in the. Oh, wait, I don't think that was her. We're just showing all highlights. Come on now. You're confusing me. But yeah, that's not that one's not her. So we're gonna go through the whole thing, but I wanted to show a little of the Jalen Brown early. But yeah. So let me know your thoughts. I don't think the Fever are done. Well, I mean, the fact that they have 11, and again, they could go 11, and maybe they're thinking later on, they might pick up somebody from overseas as a possibility. Obviously, they have their draft, although I don't really see them getting anyone at 19 that's going to fit the team that you're going to say is an upgrade over Grace Berger. Grace Berger would cost just a little more money because she'd be in the third year of her rookie deal as opposed to the first year. But I don't know. Those are my questions with Grace Berger. All in all, man, look, flat out, all in all, give the Indiana Fever an absolute A for this offseason. I'm going to give it an A plus if they had found a way to keep Grace Berger, but I'm going to give them an A because they have completely changed this team for the better going into 2025. They're starting, they did both. Okay. Their starting lineup is better. We all know Nalissa Smith, just subtracting Nalissa Smith is a positive in and of itself. And their bench is better and deeper. Think about that. They did all of it. Graded the starting lineup, got rid of the distraction in the locker room, and upgraded the bench and made it deeper. Right? This team is without a doubt 9. And again, if Katie Lou stays and she kind of gets back to what she had been, that would make them 10 deep. So I'm gonna call them 9 and we'll call them 9.5 deep. How about that? And they still have the possibility of rounding out the roster with player number 12. But I'm gonna leave it there. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think of all the moves the Fever have made? What do you think they have another move in them? Look, there aren't really any free agents left to sign. Blanket on the one lady who said she's not even gonna think about it till mid-February. The European player, can't think of her name. And Brianna Stewart, we know she's going to sign with the back with the Liberty, and they don't have that kind of cap space anyway. They're very limited because that was one last thing I'll put. If I didn't mention it, I'm sorry. I wanted to show you. I think I didn't scroll down. It's my bad, right? Look, very little cap space available based on this. I mean, that's basically a first round, mid first round rookie year minimum there. So That's the other thing. They are going to have to get rid of something. And really, when you look at the changes they made to this roster, you would have to think Katie Lou and or Christie, they're going to have to get rid of something in order to free up a little cap space in order to get that 12th player. So that's going to be interesting to see how that goes because now look, maybe some big name they've signed, they're putting as a trade piece somewhere else. As wild as that sounds, you never know because the Fever seem to be operating like a well-run NBA franchise at this point, thinking two steps ahead and making multiple moves. I mean, who knows? Maybe they're gonna send Dewana Bonner and Natasha Howard to the Las Vegas Aces for Asia Wilson. But we will see. But let me know your thoughts on all this in comments below. What do you think the Fever have left in them in terms of trades? And don't forget, Katie Lou, don't get crazy. Katie Lou and Christie, there's contracts they limit what the Fever wanted are gonna do because they limit other teams. Those they don't find those contracts and those players attractive when they put them together. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps out tremendously. I will talk to you later.